It is a period of Star Wars mania, as new movies, comic books, novels, and TV shows populate the system. Fueled by their love and passion for the galaxy far, far away, two exceptional geeks tap into hundreds of holocrons in order to bring you the knowledge and insight of all things Star Wars. Come and join them as they go inside the Force.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Inside the Force, episode 37, here in December when we start episode 5 month. We just finished up episode 4 month. I'm David Cottingham here with Casey Cooley.
Hello, everybody.
How you doing, Casey?
Good, pretty good. Not bad.
This is exciting.
All right. Yeah, it's so exciting. I was just thinking, like, Empire Strikes Back, it's like the snowiest episode of the whole movies, and we're in December now.
And it's winter time.
Well, I haven't gotten that much snow yet, but
we planned it that way.
we did. It's all part of the plan.
It is all part of the plan. Now, I think, maybe I'm mistaken, but yeah, I'm not. This is actually going to be 5 episodes in December.
Ooh.
So we will be doing 5 characters or we'll be highlighting 5 characters, creatures, planets or something like that from episode 5. Again, if you want to send us some suggestions, just tweet us at Inside the Force or send us an email, info@insidetheforce.com. Or, we're at our respective Twitter handles. Casey's at Kryptonian1138. I am at dcottingham21. Hit us up. Let us know if there's somebody you want us to talk about from episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back. This week, we are going to be profiling a very, very important general from the Rebel Alliance.
Yep. And
that is General Rieekan.
General Rieekan.
And then we're going to get into some little bit of news. Not much out there right now.
Nope.
But then we're going to actually do a little bonus thing. We're going to actually talk about, Casey just submitted his online audition to Star Wars.
Yeah.
Episode 7.
I'm in the system.
Yes.
They're watching it right now.
That's right.
I'm on hold.
My phone should be ringing here any minute now to get that call. But we're going to talk about, we're actually going to do something we've done on the 21 podcast a lot. Mm-hmm. We're going to cast the Solo twins.
Yeah.
If that's so, who we think that they're looking for, the Solo twins, we're going to cast them. We're going to tell you our suggestions on who we would, if we were JJ or Kathleen Kennedy, whatever.
Yeah.
Not that we would be Kathleen first. We would definitely be JJ first.
Yeah.
Although I'm more the producer type, I think. So
okay.
That would be Kathleen. Anyway. So we're going to talk about that. Obviously, we'll finish up with some trivia and wrap this up. So we'll get into profiling. Carlist Rieekan is his name. And I didn't, unbeknownst to me, I didn't know this, but he's actually from Alderaan.
I didn't know that, no.
So he was born on Alderaan, born at 47 BBY before the Battle of Yavin. So he's an older gentleman when it comes to this is actually, so we're doing episode 5 month. So in the timeline of things, this is 3 years after
the Battle of Yavin.
Episode 4, the Battle of Yavin, Death Star destroys. So the Empire, which is great because that's what we've been talking about with the comic book.
Yeah.
Star Wars comic book. That takes place 6 months after episode 4. So all this stuff. And I was thinking about that. Like, we haven't seen Rieekan in the comic yet. So we don't necessarily know, because it's not even mentioned here that he's at the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
So I'm not sure he's even there. I don't think he was there.
I'm still interested to see the canonicity of the comic book or in relation to all the EU stuff.
That's correct.
Like, I wonder if, I just feel like, I don't know, like all the EU stuff should be now focused to really be canon. So like, I don't know if the comic book will actually be canon or if it's EU.
Yeah.
So
I think all comics are technically EU.
Yeah.
Because, there was a lot of comic stories like from Boba Fett that don't apply anymore.
Yeah.
So I would say that, what it feels like with this comic is that it feels like it's trying to fit. Mm-hmm. Whereas a lot of the other stories, like with Vader and stuff like that, they're kind of side stories. And, there's stuff that's obviously away from the saga that's either thousands of years old Republic stuff or New Jedi Order or there's a big storyline going on now. I can't remember what it's called, but it's when the Jedi's first started, Dawn of the Jedi.
Dawn of the Jedi, yeah.
So, which was very interesting because I read the first
me too.
arc on that, and it's basically the birthplace of the Jedi religion. So, is that is that canon? It's like,
yeah,
because how does that coincide with what we talked about earlier with the family, the Force
ones,
family?
Yeah.
Who knows? That is canon. We know that for sure.
Yeah.
So it's hard to say.
That'd be crazy if they brought that story into the movie. Just
that would be awesome.
I want to see something more with that.
But yeah, it's hard to say. So that's why we'll keep saying it too. When we profile these guys, we're trying to give you pretty much all the information that is canon. That's either derived from the movies, from the books that are directly related or are sanctioned by Lucasfilm, stuff like that. That's signed off by George or now Disney. So we'll, that's why we won't really hit on anything outside of episode 4 or episode 5 with 4, 5, and 6 with Rieekan. What we know that he was doing. So, but like we said, Carlist Rieekan was from Alderaan. He joined the Republic basically very young age at 17, which was during the Clone Wars. So he was involved in serving during the Clone Wars, and obviously right from the get-go, as soon as Emperor Palpatine declared the Galactic Empire, he was against it. And he, unbeknownst to him, he didn't even know about Bail Organa.
Yeah.
And Leia Organa.
That's interesting.
The leaders of his homeworld, he figured they were, part of the Empire.
Yeah.
But he came to find out that they weren't. That he, before that, I guess, he moved up the ranks really fast. He joined what was called the Officer Cadet School when he was very young. Showed very good leadership skills. Moved up the ranks. Met some people in there that ended up serving the Republic as well, or the Alliance, Rebel Alliance. So like I said, by the time 19 BBY comes around and the Empire is formed, he rebels against it. But he obviously keeps it hidden, just like everybody does. And but discovers, like I said, discovers Bail and Leia, wanting, by this time I think the Alliance is pretty much formed. So he starts. He gets in charge, basically Bail Organa, and puts him in charge of covert operations around the Alderaan system. So the big thing that happened, that I guess really changed his attitude, was he was working on a sister planet called Delela. Yeah. A sister planet Alderaan. He was doing an inspection, and all of a sudden, boom! Here's the Death Star.
Well, it seemed like I liked it because I was reading about him, and his opinion was because he saw the Death Star. He's like, he wanted to wait to see if it was a bluff.
Right.
He's like, I don't want to wait this one out.
Yeah, because he says they knew that it could destroy planets.
Yeah.
So it wasn't a secret.
Yeah.
That the Empire, unless they just found it out, but they knew, Bail Organa knew the power of this thing. And as soon as the Death Star showed up, all of a sudden, his security base got flooded with desperate calls.
Can we leave?
Help! Help us! Yeah. What do we do? And he made the call to basically ignore the calls and the cries for help and what to do, because he did not want the Empire knowing and making the connection that Alderaan was part of the Alliance.
Yeah.
They wanted to keep that a secret. Which, it kind of makes you think too, then that's like, so Leia is on the Death Star.
Yeah. Still denying
that, I guess technically she's part of this. Did
Yeah.
they not actually know yet that she is part of the Rebel Alliance?
Well, I think they're basically assuming
because they say her, she had that mind.
Yeah.
That she resisted the mind probe
Because they're trying to find the base.
They are trying to find the base.
So she's because she told him. I think
she told him Dantooine.
Yeah, I think she's basically affirming that she's part of the Rebel Alliance.
Okay, yeah,
but she's just not telling where the base is. Because Vader basically made it seem you're part of the Rebel Alliance in the trailer, so it doesn't matter what you say, you are that.
But they're still trying to hide that possibly she's involved, but not Alderaan, not Bail Organa.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they obviously it gets destroyed, and Rieekan is just destroyed.
Yeah,
guilty.
Yeah,
feels guilt. Gets just thrown into the state of depression and despair. I mean, he's just torn apart. So, and he blames himself. He ends up blaming himself for not trying to at least help some people.
Mm-hmm.
Tell them to get off planet right away. This thing is dangerous. So in other words, probably want to play poker with this guy because he can't tell if you're bluffing or not.
Yeah.
But anyway, so following the destruction of the Death Star, so Rieekan then obviously started looking for other planets. Mm-hmm. There's actually some stories, like I said, some EU stories.
Yeah.
Like what we're reading in the comic book and some books about them looking for different bases and whatnot. Right. Stories with Han and, stuff that we don't know if it's real or not.
And it talks a lot about how he's helping refugees of Alderaan.
Yes.
And I've always wanted to know how many people from Alderaan survived. Like, how many could have survived?
I mean...
Not the explosion, but just, I guess, they were out and about.
Out and about, I guess. Yeah, maybe they're... Yeah, because it's possible they, went on a weekend trip or something like that, and they come back and there's an asteroid field there.
I'll let the stove on.
Yeah.
Back. It's blow up.
I mean, just think, I mean, how many... Yeah, just think if you took a vacation that week and was like... Mm-hmm. Came back, it'd be like Han and them and the Millennium Falcon. Like, it's supposed to be right here.
It's here, but it's not here.
It's not here.
And I was reading about this too because they brought up a little point about just blowing up a planet. Like, it really messes with the economy of other planets.
Yes,
it's like suddenly there's no importing from Alderaan to other planets.
No exporting either.
Exporting. It's like, what the heck do we do? Like, there's a lot of money now that's not being filtered to other planets.
That's a good point. Like, there's some.
There's
somebody sitting at some docking bay, like, they're late again.
Yeah.
What is Alderaan doing?
I swear, if I had a laser, I'd take it to Alderaan and
blow that planet.
Oh no!
Wait, did you just see that on the news?
You gotta be kidding me. That'd be the worst.
Oh my god! Yeah.
But no, seriously, it's like
the economy is.
You would think even for the Empire, it would hurt the Empire. Blowing up a planet, ridiculous.
And what's worse is, like, just think if you're, like, visiting, then
you
just showed up.
Such a peaceful planet. We're just gonna
go. No weapons.
Yeah.
What is that?
It's like
there's a green laser coming at us. Oh man, that's horrible. God rest their souls.
No.
May the force be with them. So we'll move on to basically to episode 5. When the rebels have now established their main base on Hoth, the 6th planet of the Hoth system, I think is that what he says? Is that what General Veer says? I think it's the 6th planet. We might get into that when we get into General Veer's. Yeah. I think that's one we're going to do. But here's what was cool about this is where we're talking about where I think he's established himself as a very, very good leader for the Alliance. Is as soon as they establish and relocate to Hoth, it was under Rieekan's decision and direction. He was general there. He immediately implemented the escape plan.
Yeah.
So everything that happens during the Battle of Hoth was a designed effort from Rieekan as soon as they got there. They knew that they were, the cold was something they're going to have to deal with. Mm-hmm. They had trouble adapting, but they also knew, he knew that eventually they will probably be discovered, no matter how isolated this place was.
Right.
The problem the actual problem that ended up being their downfall being on here is there is no life on Hoth.
Yeah.
So besides Wampas, I guess. But if a probe droid ends up getting there and discovers life, it's like, well,
scan
it.
Scan it once.
You see life. So they took a risk by being there, but it was it's in the outer rim. It's away from most places. It's barren. But anyway, so he implemented this the escape plan, which was for one, the biggest thing they needed is to deflect a space bombardment.
Yeah.
You put up a shield generator. So they built a shield generator to protect them from any kind of laser blasts or Star Destroyers that just wanted to unload on them from space. Yeah. But then you install an ion cannon to disable Star Destroyers whenever you're trying to escape. You build trenches. They built those trenches around the base. Put up those blasters.
Yeah.
To stop,
whatever
assaults, ground assaults. So all that stuff was put in place, and it was crazy because actually we pick up episode 5. That's really right at the completion.
Yeah,
that they're just
and done.
Yeah, they just really get settled and get everything there when this probe droid lands. Talk about timing.
Yeah.
So let's see what else. So anyway, so once they're discovered, it's strange because we don't really know what happens to Rieekan actually because he doesn't show up in Return of the Jedi.
Right. I mean, he's in the EU.
He is in the EU. But the question is whether or not no one really knows if he got off.
Yeah.
Off planet or not. Off planet of Hoth, but. Once the once the battle starts, and they're discovered. So that was the thing. So it was interesting to know. So that the ion cannon that is brought in, there's only because of the shield generator, and that's what the Empire, the Imperials, that's what they're doing because they can't attack from space, they have to land with the AT-ATs. That's what their main focus is: destroy the shield generator, so more ships can land and get closer and all that. But that was what's neat about the ion cannon is that he set it up to where the shield since the shield generator is there. I mean, you can't, even though with the shield there, you can deflect bombardment, but also you can't leave.
Yeah.
You can't get out of it either. So what happens is when you see in the movie when it says, they take down the deflector shield in order to shoot the ion cannon. They're basically what they're doing is they're opening just a piece of it so that they can shoot. But then also that's why they can only do one ship with a couple transport or a transport with 2 escorts. Mm-hmm. That's the only thing that can really fit through this opening while the ion cannon shoots. So that was the design, was that, okay, we'll fire a couple shots, disable whatever Star Destroyers in your path, so you can just get out of the way. There's no fighting once we get out there. Just get out.
Yeah.
They had the rendezvous points set up. So they just did that. Unfortunately, though, the base obviously was destroyed. The shield generator, the generator was destroyed. Vader was able to get his troops landed close to the base and enter the base. But luckily, or not luckily, I guess, but Rieekan was able to get off planet. Mm-hmm. And on one of the last transports to go out. Now, what's cool is that according to this, which I never knew, a guy from the card game, Cole Sarah, was there.
Yeah, I mean, I didn't even think to look him up when the card came out.
Yeah, but he is now I know he's more of an EU guy, right?
He is. But it's just kind of a tangent. It's weird that the game is pulling all these EU characters that are really obscure, like from Star Wars Galaxies or other kind of games. Whatever. Yeah. So Cole Sarah,
but was there. It seems like they're part of the original trilogy, though.
Yeah, they are.
At least Cole Sarah and Kyle Katarn,
Mara
right?
Jade.
And Mara Jade.
So yeah, Cole Sarah was there, but he's like not a huge character really in the EU. So it's strange that
So he will. So basically, once it got desperate and the attacks were going on, Rieekan actually got a hold of Cole Sarah, who's the commander of Renegade Squadron. So they had Rogue Squadron by this point, which was commanded by Skywalker, and then you had Renegade Squadron, which was commanded by Cole Sarah. So, which is different because I didn't know there was. I guess I should have known from the card game, but because there's a card that actually says Renegade Squadron on there.
there is, yeah.
So he was in charge, which is weird because it looks like the Millennium Falcon is part of it, but. Is that what the Falcon is? Maybe the Falcon is Renegade Squadron.
I guess it's probably.
And then the X-wings are Rogue Squadron. I don't know.
Yeah,
that's something we gotta look up. But anyway, Cole Sarah helped. Basically helped. He's the one that actually placed the charges throughout Echo Base to help destroy the files and whatever what was left over there. Cole Sarah kind of helped in that essence, and then. Escorted Rogue Squadron escorted Rieekan off, and they actually ran into some fire when they got off fighting some TIE fighters. In fact, they actually fought off Vader in his TIE Advanced to get off Hoth and make their way to the rendezvous point. So basically, Rieekan served did everything. What sounds like he did everything right at Echo Base by,
yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah, getting it installed there, getting everything set up, and then ultimately having this escape plan.
Yeah,
because if it wasn't for the escape plan, they probably probably would have lost the war.
Yeah.
So anyway, they eventually, before Episode 6 happens, though, they eventually find another base. The next base on was it Arbron? They find a base on Arbron, where they establish and the ships basically. But this time though, if you notice from like the end of Episode 5, the fleet is kind of floating in space and flying around. But at this point, whenever they establish this next base, they're actually keeping the fleet. Close to the base, unlike what they did with Hoth, because I think the fleet was somewhere else. They're keeping the fleet next to this base, their new base, which is pretty much when we get to Episode 6. That's where they're kind of massed up, but they're keeping them behind this other moon or whatever, so it's close, but it's kind of out of the way, hidden still. But that's where they are, and I'm assuming, I don't know if you know the answer to this case, but I'm assuming he's there still when the Battle of Endor happens, because he is not. Doesn't seem like, I don't think he's involved, because since he's not a naval officer, so he's not part of the fleet necessarily. He's not an admiral, because that's an admiral. General is more ground combat, and by that time, General Solo is a general, so he's the one leading the command. So I don't know. I'm not sure. It's not really explained where he is during Episode 6.
It just says that Arbra is still being used by the Republic even after the Battle of Yavin.
Yeah.
So I guess he probably is there.
So I'm assuming he's there still. Yeah. With maybe Mothma. I guess Mothma's probably, she said her things and then hung back there probably.
Or I guess she probably went to Coruscant. I can't remember. I think she, after the Battle of Yavin, to reestablish the government. Is that what you're talking about?
No, I'm talking about their Battle of Endor.
Battle of Endor during that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
They're probably there.
Hanging out.
Seeing if they win.
Yeah.
But anyway, Rieekan, I think, is he played a very important role, even though we see him very briefly in Episode 5. He played a huge role in their survival of retreating from Echo Base, surviving against the Empire to be able to reestablish their connection and build up their military again in order to make that final stand against the second Death Star. So kudos to General Rieekan.
Carlist.
And we're getting, kind of connecting this a little bit to the Star Wars card game. We're getting his card.
Yeah.
I think in the next in the expansion, I think, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, in the Balance of the Force expansion. So we should be getting that in the next week or two. And that would be interesting to get that, because that's a very it's been a very awesome Force pack with the Echo, the Hoth cycle. Surprising that he wasn't in that.
That's true. Very true.
But he will apparently be in the next one. So, all right. So that is Carlist Rieekan of the Rebel Alliance. What we got for news there, Casey?
Not much. I guess really the biggest thing that kind of came out this past week, it's a rumor about Disneyland and their Star Wars expansions. Apparently, it's on hold for a while because the rumor. Well, that's a fact that they are on hold with their expansions, kind of. But the rumor is that they're on hold because the Disney Imagineers are waiting for the more information from the movie. I guess about plot wise for the movie, about what characters and settings and all that kind of stuff that will be in Episode 7. Because it seems logical that they're going to make these new attractions at Disneyland based off what happens in the movie. Like maybe it's like a new planet or new characters or something like that. Because there is one big ride there, the Star Tours ride at Disney World and Disneyland, where it takes you through like events in the movies. So they're obviously going to wait for the actual script to be, I guess, given to them or whatever, so that they can update it. So that is the biggest thing that happened this past week. There's more rumors of some actresses for Star Wars Episode 7. I mean, I didn't bring up that news article because it's just adding to more piling on there for who's rumored to be considered in Star Wars Episode 7. So, but anyways, for Star Wars Rebels, I just read this today. There was an interview with Greg Weisman, who is one of the executive producers, or I guess the executive producer of Star Wars Rebels, talking about just some characters from the show. Not too much, nothing big. It's just he says there's 2 strong female leads in the show among the set of characters, and he's hoping that they become fan favorites very quickly, kind of cashing in on what happened with Ahsoka Tano, how she quickly became a fan favorite. I guess they're kind of hoping that happens again. So honestly, that's pretty much it. And that's all that has happened this past week. Pretty dry week. But I would think within the next month and a half, maybe we'll get some maybe more official casting.
After the first of the year,
yeah,
I would say.
Definitely.
And I read an article somewhere, I don't know if it was just a fan just kind of talking about it in a forum or something, I can't remember, but I do think what they wrote is true. Is I think they're going to announce like the whole cast together. I don't think there's going to be like, hey, this guy's playing this. Hey, this guy's playing that. I think
that'd be cool.
I think it's just going to be, bam, here is the cast of Episode 7.
That'd be a lot of awesome news.
Yes. I really think that's what they're doing, because it seems, if you think about it, I mean, I don't remember, like, I'd have to think back, but, like when they did Star Trek, like, I don't think those were individually announced. I think it was pretty much like, all right, here's Kirk, here's Spock, here's Uhura, here's, Chekhov, I don't think it was like, oh, Chris Pine is now William Shatner. Well, who's going to be Spock? I think he's got a thing where he gets his cast together first, and then
cool.
They release it. So I think that's cool. Gonna. So we might not get anything until January, February.
Probably. Well, it has to be if they are going to shoot January 21st, which has been the rumor. Then we definitely need to get something.
But technically, that could be a lot of second unit stuff.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that's true.
B-roll stuff.
Yeah.
Digital stuff. Who knows? I don't know when dialogue's actually going to get shot or
right
and stuff like that. But I'm sure because if the cast isn't put together yet, you don't have any rehearsals going on yet. I mean, is this going to be lightsaber fighting? What about training?
Training, absolutely.
These actors don't have fight.
It's been like 6 or 7, like many weeks.
Yeah. What was that? That fight with that Ewan and Hayden did. I mean, they practiced for months.
Yeah.
Before they did that battle. Now, obviously, there won't be probably something that epic, but you still need to know how to wield a lightsaber. whoever's going to be yielding one. I mean, Luke. I mean, Mark Hamill's going to hopefully
he'll do something.
Hopefully you got to get him trained.
Yeah.
And not do the fencing stuff that he did in episode 6.
I would like to see some pictures and see if they are getting in better shape.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing too. Is that has? I mean,
that's been on the.
I know that hasn't been announced. There's some rumors going around, possibly that maybe they written them out,
wrote Luke out.
Yeah, or Han, or I think Han is. I think he's dead. I think he's in. I think he's dead set on being in because what was that story about him? Knowing, apparently the rumor is he knows the storyline of Han Solo. And
that's what he wanted.
He wanted to know in order to sign off on it.
Yeah, and them to also do another Indiana Jones.
Correct.
But it's hard because he keeps getting asked. He constantly gets asked if he's going to be in it. And it's just hard to keep lying and be like, no. So he's just being.
I mean, even
playful.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Yeah,
promoting Sherlock Holmes gets Star Wars questions like crazy.
Yeah.
He's not even officially a part of it.
Yeah.
So I would say it's very hard to get these people. I wonder, even like Ewan McGregor or, are you going to come back as Obi-Wan?
Yeah.
So, it's very hard. But hopefully we get some news, concrete news, and then we can start really speculating. So leading into that, though, is that a good segue now?
Yes.
Okay. So leading into that, we're going to cast this.
Yeah. Enough of this waiting around.
Yeah, enough of this. We're going to tell you who's going to play these roles that we're assuming that the two parts, one being the one that Casey actually read for.
Yeah.
We're assuming that these are the Solo twins.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you haven't caught us talking about it before, or you're not in the know, in the expanded universe beyond episode 6, Han and Leia get married and have their first children are twins, fraternal twins, a boy and a girl, Jaina and Jason. Jaina being the girl, Jason being the boy, obviously. Yep. They actually have a third son, Anakin, but to make a long story short, Jason is the one that actually falls to the dark side.
Yeah.
Is it not? And he becomes Darth
Caedus. Yeah.
And is actually, I think he is killed by
Jaina, I believe.
His sister actually kills him.
I think it's him or Ben Skywalker.
I was actually going to say, I think it was one of the younger ones.
It was
Ben being Luke's son.
I think Ben dies too at some point. I don't know.
Actually, is it not Anakin that does this?
Anakin dies during the Vulcan War. No, I haven't read that far yet.
Okay.
So
he is slain by somebody in the family, either by Jaina or it might be Luke. Yeah. It might even be Luke.
Yeah, I can't remember.
For some reason. But that's all expanding universe stuff. Now, again, none of this is probably going to hold true.
Yeah.
We don't even know if they're the Solo twins. Mm-hmm. May just be a brother and sister that are a couple years apart, whatever.
Yeah.
But we're going to tell you who's going to play them. At least I want to tell you who I would want.
Yeah.
Casey's going to tell you who
go for it.
He would want. So, you want me to go first?
Yeah.
I'll do one of them. I'll go with Jaina.
Okay.
First.
Jaina Solo.
And she's actually the first kind of girl that popped in my head. Because I really think she's got major potential. I haven't seen a lot of her stuff, but I think she's that you think you know who I'm talking about.
I think
right?
I do. Yeah.
I'm thinking of Emma Roberts.
Oh,
Julia Roberts'
that
niece.
chick. Yeah. Okay, that was not who I was thinking. I thought you were going to say Jennifer Lawrence.
Nah.
Yeah.
She got her own thing.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. That's why I didn't pick her.
I don't want her in the Star Wars universe. She's actually too big of a star, I think, honestly.
Yeah.
She's big. I mean, would I be upset about it? No, absolutely not.
Yeah.
But based on who I have for the guy who I thought at first, this is who I would think kind of looks like him.
Yeah.
But anyway, Emma Roberts as Jaina Solo.
I like it. She's good.
She's good.
Yeah.
The only thing I really saw her in was Scream 4.
Scream 4, yeah.
But I know she played. Wasn't she in one of these fantasy movies?
Not the Snow White movie.
She wasn't. I know that. I thought there was another.
She might have been
small fantasy one.
She was
in.
That.
She was in We're the Millers that I haven't seen yet. This new comedy. I heard she was fantastic in it.
Yeah, and she was in the Valentine's Day movie or whatever that was called.
Yeah,
whatever. Yeah.
But I didn't know until I think you told me that I didn't know she was. I knew she was Julia Roberts' niece, but I didn't know she was Eric Roberts' daughter.
Yes.
Wow. I was like Eric Roberts from Dark Knight.
Dark Knight. Yeah.
numbers, anything. I mean, he's been in a ton of stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, because I didn't know they were brother and sister, Julia and Eric. I was like,
but once you know and you look at them,
yes,
they do look a lot alike.
They do. And she's growing up to look like Julia.
Yes.
So, and she is your age.
She's pretty much my age.
She's February 10th, 1991.
Yeah.
So she's a couple months older than you, so she would fit that age range, I think. February 10th being, that's Miley's birthday.
Aww.
My dog Miley. Anyway, okay, so who's your Jaina?
Well, see, I couldn't think of many, like, relatively unknown young actresses, whatever, but, I mean, okay, Emma Watson. I know she was Hermione.
Yeah.
But she's really
that's
good.
Who I would think you would go for,
Yeah,
honestly.
she's really good. And I think she could do a Star Wars without people being like, oh, it's Hermione.
Now, how old is she?
She's 1990. She's 23 now.
Okay.
But I think she could really do it. If not her, then at first I was thinking Haley Steinfeld from True Grit, the girl from True Grit. You know, but she's in Ender's Game. It's hard because all these girls are all doing franchises now, so it's hard to pick them. But Emma Watson, although she might be too big of a star, but she's also really good.
Yeah, I don't think she's. I mean, I think she's big in.
Yeah.
But see, unlike Jennifer Lawrence is Academy big.
Yes, that's true.
You know, Emma's not. She's just Harry Potter big.
What about I can't remember her name. Thea Queen.
Yeah, I thought about that as well.
She's my age, actually.
Yeah.
Her and Felicity. The girl plays Felicity. They're both.
Felicity's 22?
They're both like 21, 22. Yeah.
Wow, I thought Felicity was a little older now.
Yeah, me too.
No, the girl plays. I think her name's Willa Holland.
Yeah.
I actually thought about her after I thought about Emma, but I was like,
her, yeah.
But that's actually the reason why I didn't pick her.
Oh, because the guy.
Because I'm going Colton Haynes.
Oh, yeah.
For Jason.
I've been thinking about him too, not for this situation, but I thought about him like, why wouldn't he audition for it? Because he's like perfect.
I would say
age.
Emma Roberts, Colton Haynes.
Yeah, Colton Haynes.
And honestly, them being probably a couple years apart because Colton Haynes is actually Corey's age.
Yeah.
He's 25, so he was born in 88. So that's who I would say.
Yeah. Now I was kind of torn because whenever, I think ultimately I'm going to go with for Jason. Probably Nicholas Hoult. You know him? Beast from X-Men First Class.
Oh, okay. Yep.
He's in the Warm Bodies. He's a really good actor. He's 24 now. But whenever I think of a young actor kind of my age, I always think of Logan Lerman, the guy who played Percy Jackson.
Yes.
He's really good. I like him a lot. I just don't know. He's
really young, isn't he?
He's a year younger than me. Almost a year younger than me, but he looks younger. He looks much younger.
He looks more like a teenager.
Yeah, so I wouldn't pick him because of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I would say Nicholas Hoult because I think he can do it, leading man capability. So that's it. Yeah, I got two kind of bigger name guys, I guess.
Yeah, that's pretty good because I was actually thinking because at first when I started thinking of guys, I mean honestly I was obviously doing that too. I was thinking of who's a superhero out there, and younger and First Class. Yeah, I didn't think about the First Class people, but I just thought of Arrow right away. I was like, he'd be a pretty cool, especially if he was yielding some lightsabers and stuff like that. Because he obviously does. So is that the case with the Solo Twins? Are both of them in the Academy? Are both of them Jedis? Or
they're both Jedi.
They're both Jedis. Okay.
Yeah.
So that would be cool to see them. Emma and Colton and Emma and
Stephen Amell needs to be in there somehow.
Well, yeah, he's too. How old is he? Is he in his 30s?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. Now he has his younger
31.
brother.
Yeah, Robbie Amell.
Robbie, right? It's on the show after his.
Yeah.
Amell Wednesdays.
That's so funny.
That show actually looked pretty good, but I know
it's got
Bishop in there from being human.
Mark Pellegrino.
Yeah.
But
I can't stand. Honestly, what turns me off a little bit is that the opening is exactly like Arrow.
It is, even the way I am so and so, whatever his name is. Yeah,
I remember the first time it came on, I was like, "What is this? Like another Arrow show or something?"
Basically,
and they basically molded the same thing.
Yeah,
it's gotta be cool to be brothers though to have that. But anyway, all right. So that's how.
That's what.
Hit us up. Let us know what you think about our casting and who would you cast.
Yeah.
Let's do some trivia here. Oh, just on a side note too, we'll be talking about the comic books coming up. There should be coming out, but tomorrow, which is Wednesday the 5th. Is it the 5th or the
Fourth.
4th? The 4th. Number 4 of the Star Wars is coming out, which is the rough draft of Lucas. That is coming out tomorrow. I think the regular Star Wars series is coming out next week. So check out your comic book shops to get that. We'll be talking about that next week. All right, so this is question 379 from Obsessed with Star Wars. And it is coming from the Phantom Menace era.
Cool.
We should be doing episode 5 questions, but
yeah. Oh, wow.
We're just doing these randomly. Okay, here we go. 379. What did Ki-Adi-Mundi think Anakin Skywalker's thoughts dwelled on?
Mother.
Yeah, it's easy. It's C.
Your
Mother.
thoughts dwell on your mother.
Let's see if we can get another one real quick.
Conehead.
Hopefully, maybe episode 5 will show up here. Let's see. Yeah, that was too easy. Dang, it only went up like 3 questions at 391, so we won't do that. Let's just skip it. Let's see if we can get.
Yeah. Oh, I got it.
It was C.
Dang it.
Invasion. I don't know what the question was. Let's see if we can get to episode. Dang, we're going backwards here.
You can't choose them. You can't just
Well, I think you can
flip through it.
I don't know how to do that though.
Yeah.
I'd have to look that up.
All right, one more.
Let's see if we can get. Oh, I got that one right. I don't even know what the question was.
You're that good. One more. Let's try this.
One more.
Big money. Big money.
Big money. 1782. Yep. I think we got it.
Yes.
I think we got it. 17.
Just on the edge between 4 and 5.
1782, episode 5. Yes. Here we go. Great. All right. 1782. Ooh, all right. Here we go. 1782. Who won a spot on the Farini racing team when he was young?
What the fart?
The Farini racing team when he was young. A. Han Solo. B. Zev Seneska. C. Dengar. Or D. Bosk.
Oh, I feel like I should know this actually.
Who won a spot on the Farini racing team when he was young? Han Solo, Zev Seneska,
okay, I got my answer.
Dengar, or Bosk?
I think I got my answer. I'm going to go with Dengar.
Dengar, wow, okay. I don't know who Zev is.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's not Han. I think it's between Zev and Dengar. I'm going to go with Zev because I don't know who it is.
Okay.
That's the only reason I'm going to go with Zev. Right. So I will pick.
I'll be mad if this is right.
I'll pick C. Dengar for you.
Okay.
And Casey got it right.
Well, didn't we profiled Dengar?
No, we have not done
haven't.
Dengar yet.
I feel like we read that. I read that somewhere.
Really?
I feel like I did.
Yeah, we did not do Dengar yet.
Maybe I think he was in it with someone else.
Oh,
famous.
Really?
And I think it mentioned.
It's
possible. I think it was Zuckus or something like that. I don't know.
He hangs out with Bosk a lot, but
that's why I was thinking it was Bosk or Dengar. But oh well.
That was good. Yeah, I figured it'd be Dengar or the other guy, but
I don't know who Zev.
Zev, yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why he's in there. Anyway, that's our show. Hit us up at InsideTheForce.com and check out all the past shows. Hit us up on Twitter, Inside the Force. We are on we're on Twitter as well. DCottingham21. Casey Cooley is Kryptonian1138. Check us out next week when we hit up another episode 5 character. This is episode 5 month. Some of the ones we have in mind: General Veers. Who else were we going to do? The Executor.
Executor.
We got to think of 5 now. I think
some big guys. We had
maybe a bounty hunter. Maybe a bounty hunter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So let us know. All right. So that will do it for this week's show. For Casey Cooley.
A death mark's not an easy thing to live with. You're a good fighter, Solo. I hate to lose you.
Very good line from Rieekan.
Yes.
Very good line from Rieekan. All right. Have a good week, everybody. We'll be back next week. Take care, and may the Force be with you.
This has been a production of the 21 Network. For more great podcasts, visit 21network.com. To view additional content, subscribe to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/21network. Follow us on Twitter at 21network for the latest news and updates. The 21 Network, for the fan and all of us.